Hello and welcome to another Dragon Ball video. It's about time I finished up doing these Earthling ranking videos. Now if you haven't seen my other two doing this, basically I go over every arc the character played a role in and compare them to the other humans, placing them in an order from strongest to weakest. We've done Yamcha and Tien, now it's time for Krillin. Without further ado, let's start with... Now, Krillin's first tournament performance is honestly really good. The fight I'd like to focus on the most is Krillin versus Jackie Chun or Master Roshi. You see, he was actually doing pretty good in this fight. He learned to adapt to Roshi's speed and managed to have a decent blow exchange with him. However, he lost his cool at the end of the fight, and that's when it was as good as over for him. If he had kept a clear mind for longer, he could have had a way better performance in this fight. As for the other humans, Yamcha got eliminated really early on and had a far worse performance against Roshi. Roshi's obviously above him, though, however, one character that might be stronger than Krillin as well is Nam. Now, if you've forgotten who Nam is, he was a human who gave Goku a really good fight. Even though this was a suppressed Goku, Nam had a far better performance against a suppressed Goku than Krillin did against a suppressed Roshi, who are very similar in strength in this arc. Plus, Krillin also has that weakness of losing his cool, and that might kick in as well when he fights him. So overall, Krillin was the second to third strongest human in this arc.
Just cause you're tall and muscle-bound doesn't mean I can't stomp you, pal.
Krillin kind of just gets bodied by General Blue here, that's all there really is. And since there's many strong human fighters in this arc, I honestly don't think he even makes the top 3 here. Now here's a really good Krillin arc. I don't think anyone needs to know how amazing Krillin versus Goku is. There's a reason Toriyama is a generational mangaka at this point, because the paneling in this fight deserves glaze for generations to come. As for the other humans, Roshi and Tien do place above him here simply because Roshi scales to Tien, Tien scales to Goku, Goku beat Krillin. But how about Yamcha? Well, the results of each of their fights with the arc strongest had a different outcome. On Yamcha's side, this led to Tien gaining some respect for the Turtle School, but on Krillin's side, Goku was ready to go straight into his fight with Tien after fighting him. So I do feel like Tien had a better fight considering he was quite the asshole before this, and Yamcha being able to humble him just a bit is overall better than Krillin, not really tiring Goku out much in their match. Now, Krillin wasn't in the Demon King Piccolo saga for obvious reasons, but this tournament was pretty good for him. Tien was once again easily the strongest in this arc, but Krillin and Yamcha both had similar performances, with them proving their strength to Kami and Piccolo. Now it's pretty hard to say who was the strongest here, and there's a good argument for both sides, but I give it to Krillin this time, mainly due to Piccolo's change in mindset about conquering the world after his fight with Krillin, realizing if there's more people like him, it'll be far harder for him to take over the world. I bet Vegeta had nightmares about Saiyan Saga Krillin.
He was a serial killer who bragged about killing people.
Waking up, thinking about the man who killed 3 Cybermen in one attack.
He was dead, bro. If he wanted you out of there, he'll go do it himself on feet by himself.
Who would have killed Nappa in one blow if he hadn't warned him.
I was happy as hell when I found out Vaughn was dead. I cooked for the whole day.
Helped throw an attack that had him looking like this.
I was relieved for the community, man, because he was over there torturing them guys, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
And held him at sword point, only letting him go because his friend demanded to.
Vaughn gave me a lot of passes. He could have killed me a couple times.
Overall, Krillin had by far the best performance of any human in this arc. Fought the most people, fought the longest, and was overall incredibly persistent in this arc.
What? It's that guy? But how? He was shish kebabbed!
Another insanely strong arc for Krillin, already just being the one to save others from people like the Doria and the Ginyu Force, and no one will ever forget him cutting off Frieza's tail. He's also the strongest human in this arc, mainly because every other human is dead, so there's not really that much competition. Now everyone has a bad day. Kenpachi versus Yua, Sasuke versus Madara, and this entire arc is that for Krillin. Just constant ass beatings from Cell and Cell Juniors. Like at least Yamcha and Tien got some hits in. He just got washed. And of course, the scene everyone remembers, the deactivation button that he destroyed. Now, I like to play devil's advocate here and try to make a case for him. I want you to close your eyes and imagine your ideal person, maybe even your current partner the day you met them. Now, imagine you've had one interaction with them, and in that one short interaction, they were everything you have ever wanted in a partner. Now, in your hands is their literal life. Would you be able to press that button?
No!
Come on!
Now, this arc is kind of a nothing burger for humans since most of them have retired and even Krillin had just started training again for the tournament. Though if you are curious, Tien is still the strongest in this arc. Though Krillin does get one good moment when Super Buu comes to Kami's lookout. Now, in the two movies that take place after the Buu Saga, Krillin really doesn't do too much. In Battle of the Gods, he's just kind of there, but in Resurrection F, he does fight a large portion of the Frieza Force. But since none of the humans really had a fight for themselves, like a one-on-one, I can't really say who's stronger than who in this arc. Now, in the manga and anime, Krillin had two very different performances in this tournament. In the manga, he's taken out very quickly, but in the anime, we get to see him pop off a bit with Android 18 when they fight against some opponents together. So in the anime, I'd place him as third, mainly because his fights are only really 2 against 1s with 18, and also third in the manga because he just didn't do shit. At least Tien got an attack off, and everyone knows the insane shit Roshi was doing during this tournament.
I need this. My mom is kind of homeless. I live with my dad. I want to help her out.
Speed, I'm watching the stream while you try not to laugh, bro. That's disrespectful.
Now, I wouldn't say Krillin is the strongest in this arc. I think it is Yamcha, mainly because he beat the most people on screen, even if they were fodder. But Krillin got the most screen time of any human in this arc, getting his own arc-exclusive enemy to fight, and eventually overcoming them, unlike the other human Z fighters who kind of just fought either people who appeared just for the final fight, or just a ton of fodder.
What?
Big! Like you did when you fought Goku at the World Martial Arts Tournament!
He really didn't do too much in this movie, but like this one attack he got off on Cell Max and the solar flare is enough to put him above any human in the movie, also mainly because there's no other human in the movie. And with that, the video comes to an end. I hope you all enjoyed this series and maybe I'll continue it with characters from other series like Bleach or One Piece. Well, let me know what you all want to see and what you all thought of this video in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.